back, baby. A lot of people, myself included, didn't think we'd get to this day, but here we are. Make Montana Wild great again, 2025. Somebody wants to design that t-shirt. It feels fitting that it should be one, but it's exciting. Montana Wild was something that was really awesome and was realistically my start in the outdoor industry, and we were able to make a lot of really cool hunting and fishing films and inspire a lot of people, go on some great adventures, and then it all stopped. And I'm going to have my brother on the podcast today, which podcast is going to be something new we're going to be adding to the mix for Montana Wild. But long story short, life and your path in life, it changes over time. And my brother and I, our paths in life, they weren't always going to be the exact same on the exact same track. And I think the easiest way to put it is our paths split, and it didn't make sense for both of us to work at Montana Wild. It probably didn't support some of the goals that we had at the time, the way that we'd structured the business. You know, we were just college kids who were figuring it out as we went. Excuse me. And, you know, that's okay. We got to learn a lot, and it allowed us to go do some other things that were really valuable. Travis now has 4 beautiful kids and a great wife, and he's a dad and, you know, does some other things. Fortunately, I've been able to continue to hire Travis for his video services while I worked at Stone Glacier and other places, and we've got to share some cool memories, and he's still super talented behind the camera, and I have a feeling he will be part of Montana Wild, just in a lot smaller dose. When we kind of split paths, I wanted to keep the company around. I knew that there was a lot there that I loved about Montana Wild, and I just didn't want to let it go. So I bought Travis out of it. I'm the full owner of Montana Wild as far as the business side of things go, but I hope and I think, pretty confident, he'll still be a part of it, and you'll be seeing his face and his work. But yeah, I'm just pumped to kind of invest the majority of my time and energy, as well as some buddies of mine, and we're going to be helping out into Montana Wild for 2025. We've got some really big plans and some cool things coming down the pipeline. So just wanted to make this video to kind of give you guys a little bit of like lay of the land of what's going on. If you followed us on social, you've seen over the last 2-3 months, we've been a little bit more active on posting, and so I've kind of been putting off this video and doing some behind the scenes work on what Montana Wild should be and what it will look like in 2025 and moving forward. And I think we have some really cool ideas and some plans, you know, to start a business and try to do things. It takes money, and it takes good planning and good common sense, and it's scary, to be honest. You know, it's way easier to go get a job somewhere and get a paycheck versus starting your own thing. And so as we sort of build this thing back up, I'm hoping we'll be able to have the time and the resources to kind of bring you guys behind the veil a little bit and kind of see what the cool things are, see how we do things, and just understand the challenges that come along with building a brand in the outdoor space and being a company and making content. And hopefully down the road, we'll be able to develop some of our own products. I know that we're big gear guys, and some of us have worked for gear companies and have some really cool experience and being avid users. I think it lends itself to possibly creating and developing products at some point. But for the first year or two, it's really going to be just diving back into that content space and reestablishing what Montana Wild is all about and what it's been about. And I think, you know, if you've watched our stuff in the past, you know that we aren't scared to put in some serious work and some time and some effort into our films. And I think that's what's made us successful in the past, and I think it'll make us successful moving forward in the future. When I say we're back, that's we. It's not me, Zach. And so who is we? And I already touched on Travis a little bit. He will be involved just kind of fractionally. So it'll be mostly me, my good friend Jared Miller, who you'll see in content. You'll get to know him. He is an awesome human being. He's a great hunter, really great shooter with precision rifles. He's a great instructor, and he's going to be a big part of Montana Wild and our content and just our brand moving forward. Ryan Holm is also somebody that I've brought in and is excited about some things that we can do as a brand. He worked at Mystery Ranch for a long time, and right now he's the marketing director at Leica. So he's just working fractionally on the side, just helping kind of shape Montana Wild and give some guidance and some structure to the business side of things and the content and the community. And just, it's something for him that is exciting, for just like it is for all of us. So I'm pumped to have Ryan involved. And then we kind of have some of our crew of people that you've probably seen both in the Montana Wild days and even when I went to Stone Glacier and was building content. Someone like Brandon Purcell, who you probably know him as Durango Boone on Instagram. He's going to be someone that's involved with us. And so we got a bunch of cool people, a bunch of cool things planned. First thing being a hunt in Mexico. I'm out at the range today and was shooting the gun, was going to do the video outside, but it's freaking blowing 20. And I'm going to be going down to Mexico hunting Coues deer with my rifle next week for about a week with the guys at Mesquite Mountain. And, one of the cool things about Montana Wild is just the stories and the people we meet that were inspired and helped, kind of our old content kind of helped shape some people's lives in cool ways. Like Christian, who's going to be filming this hunt, he watched some of the original Montana Wild fishing films, and it kind of helped push him into a position where content and making films in the outdoor space was something he wanted to pursue. So it's cool to circle back with guys like that. And I'll be working on a fishing film with another guy in Bozeman who I got to meet just through the content space, and he had a similar story, like watch some of the original Montana Wild fishing pieces, and it helped, along with other things, just shape his pathway to kind of be out here in this part of the world and doing, outdoor media and content. And so it's cool with a community that something like Montana Wild can sort of create and embrace, and we want to be part of the community. And so I guess there's a lot of people that hopefully will be involved when I say we are back and we are Montana Wild. And so that's exciting for me and hopefully exciting for those people who are part of it. I think just for a video like this, going over what Montana Wild is and what our core principles are is important. And that was something I had to think about when I was toying with the idea of should I invest back into Montana Wild or not. And when I decided I wanted to, you kind of had to make a bit of a mission statement, some core principles, some things that we thought were important. And so I'm going to go through those and give you guys a little bit of an idea of what Montana Wild is all about. So sort of the first thing that has always been important to us at Montana Wild, and it still will be, is just to build content and build a brand that inspires you guys to go outside with your friends and your family and just have an adventure. That's something that has been really important to us. It's shaped our lives in a positive way. It's shaped a lot of other people's lives in a positive way. And so that's something we definitely want to do. I know I can speak for myself and for Travis, and both of us, we want to glorify God in our lives. And that's something that I want to do through the brand. That doesn't mean that we're always going to be telling you need Jesus and all that, even though we might believe it. But we want to be good human beings who are a positive force in our space and what we do. We're super blessed to get to call this work, to live in Montana, to just be able to go hunting and go fishing. And so we view those as blessings that we want to take advantage of and just use to our utmost abilities and be a part of a community that hopefully is doing cool things and just being positive, good human beings. And yeah, it's kind of a tough one to, I think, encapsulate, but it's something that is important to us. We also want to sort of set the standard for what hunting and fishing films are. It's it's always going to be something that's an opinion and a perspective when it comes to content. It is art, even though it might not be art in a traditional sense. You're sharing a story and a vision with other people, and we definitely are passionate about what that is and what it looks like, and we want to do it at a high level. So I'd say that we want to at least be part of the standard of what really good hunting and really good fishing films look like. And I think that's something that Travis and we always focused on in the old days, and hopefully it's going to be a big focus as long as I'm around and as long as Montana Wild's a brand. So be looking for some really great films. We want to invest as a business in people and not a future paycheck. There's a lot of companies that find success in the outdoor world, and then they figure out that, hey, we can grow this thing and we can sell this thing and make a bunch of money. And there's nothing wrong with growing a business and selling it, but that's not something that I want to do. I want to invest in people. I want to pay people well. I want to grow a business organically based off of what the market's demand is, and not trying to just build products and do things to try to maximize revenue. I think we've seen it over and over and over in so many industries that small, passionate brands come into spaces. They have a great core of people. They have a great product. They are the end user, and they do really well. The formula for good business, it's common sense. And a lot of times money comes into that equation and it distorts the vision of the brand. When you grow things to sell it to make a paycheck, most of the time the ownership that comes in that purchases that company is purchasing it for financial reasons, and the soul gets sucked out of the company, and we do not want to do that with Montana Wild. That's a problem that is way down the line, but it's something that's important to me. We for sure want to be the avid end user. We want to be hunters. We want to be fishermen. We want to know what we're talking about. We don't want to be those guys that say they're this one thing, and then you watch them go out in the field and you're like, you have no clue what you're talking about or doing. We want to make sure that we're the end user, we're educated. When we are educated and think we have good knowledge, we want to share it with you guys, and we want to be a trusted resource. When we say that something is good and it works, it's the truth, and we're not just lying to you to sell products to get a paycheck on the back end. So part of that is just being real, telling it how it is. We want to, in our storytelling and our content, be real. As a business, as a brand, we want to be real. When we market, when we have stories about how the company's going, when we bring you guys behind the scenes, we want it to be real. It's the best way to operate. We want to be truthful. We want to be honest, and there shouldn't be any shady business going on. And then finally, just as a company, as a brand, personal life trumps work when it's important. I think God created us to work. Work is a good thing. It provides value in your life, but you can't make it an idol. You can't make it the only thing that you want to do. It's okay to put work aside and focus on yourself and your family and your friends and your own goals at times. And so we want to make sure there's balance inside of our company and what we do. So all that said, we've got awesome stuff coming down the pipeline. Mexico hunt film, we're going to be trying to kick that out. Hopefully, let's see, I want to say in early April. It takes time, obviously, to go down there for a week and film it, and then to edit a hunting film takes time. A lot of these things will kind of be kicking out in the back half of this year and even into 2026, but just know we are working on a bunch of content. We've got some cool rifle matches. It's called the Montana Wild Shootout. They're one-day matches, like out here at the range that I'm currently sitting at. It's called Hidden Valley Range. It's in Three Forks, Montana. The one-day rifle matches, they're affiliated with Western Precision Rifle Series as well as the Regional PRS Series. So there's a few reasons you'd come shoot these. One, for me, is learning your rifle as a system and a weapon and understanding what your capabilities are. We all have room for improvement to be better shooters, to make better shots on animals, to fill more tags, yada yada. The second reason would be if you are into competitive shooting, this is a great way to come learn, to get experience before you go spend money and time at bigger regional and national matches. We are super fortunate. We have a ton of great shooters in the Gallatin Valley. So if you just come out and want to be a sponge and learn, all the resources are here and available to you. So I'll throw the dates up on the screen. I know February 1st is the first one. I want to say March 1st and April 19th. You can go on Practice Score and sign up for those. We'll be doing more with just shooting matches in that community. It's something that I find valuable, that Jared and Ryan find valuable, so you'll definitely see that. We're also going to be making some content about shooting your weapon and just try to help you guys have a few more resources and tools so that you feel confident going into the field when you do go hunting. Because hunting, you know, the time and the money is not cheap, and so we want to maximize our abilities when we're out there. We're going to have a podcast, so be looking for that. It's just a cool way for us to have some of those more raw and filtered conversations with people and give you a better glimpse into what we do, what the industry's like, things that we think are cool. So be checking that out. That'll be hopefully dropping in February. We are going to be definitely selling some apparel. That's just a great way for us to kind of continue to build the community of what Montana Wild is. So hats, t-shirts, just the simple stuff. We're not going to go too crazy on that for a while. And then last but definitely not least, more hunting and fish films. You know, again, like I talked about, setting the standard for hunting and fishing films. It's important. It's what I'm passionate about, is telling those stories and making those films. And so that's always going to be realistically our number one priority. So we've got some cool things planned for this year. Those things, again, they take time, so be patient with us. But yeah, that's kind of the rundown. And I would say we would love your guys' support if you like what we're doing, if you like the brand. Obviously, liking our posts, liking our videos, sharing it with your buddies, sharing it with your network, subscribing to us, following us. Those are all little things that are free that help us a lot. If you see us out, definitely don't be scared to come up and say hi to us and talk to us. We want to be part of the community and not just a face that when you see you can't go up and talk to. So yeah, we're pumped. Hopefully this kind of gave you guys a little bit of the lay of the land for what Montana Wild's going to be doing this year. There'll be more videos and stuff, but I felt like a little we're back kickoff video would be fair. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, guys.